y'all, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different to celebrate my daughter turning 1 year old this month. And I thought I would share with you some of the lessons I've learned as a first-time mom, some of the parenting tips that I've learned along the way, and yeah, just dive into what motherhood has been like for me. I know it's different for everyone and every baby's different, so even if we had another one, could be all new experiences and recommendations could change. But I'm just going to share with you what it's been like for me to maybe help some other first-time moms out there who are wondering what things are going to be like or just looking to relate with other moms. So I guess just to start off with the cliche, the days are long, but the weeks, months, years are short is just so true. I mean, I really remember even just a week after we were home from the hospital with her, I was like, how has a week already flown by? Like how has she already been with us for a week, and then a month, and then 6 months when she's rolling, 9 months when she's standing, and a year when she's walking. I just look back and like, time absolutely flew by. Here is Kinnick, our cat, as well. That'll lead me to another little tidbit. I was really nervous about how our cat was gonna react to the baby because when I was pregnant, he started being like a little weird. And he actually like tried to like hit me a few times, which he like has never done before. But now that she's been here, like as when she was a little baby, didn't like to go near her, and I think he was like a little mad at us because all of our focus was on her, just constant attention on her and not so much the cat. But now that she's more mobile, he gets more attention from the baby, and like she'll go up and pet him, and she's gotten down like nice pets really well, so not like trying to pull his hair anymore or pull his tail. So all those like cute pictures that I saw of like babies cuddling their dogs or cats, like we're finally getting to that stage, and my worries are going away a little bit. So that's really cute to see that they'll be able to grow up together like that. Another thing, just going back to like days are long, they can be, especially in the beginning. And I remember like just being awake so much of the night, just like looking at her and being like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like 2 more hours so you're gonna wake up and feed again. Was hard. And even now, honestly, like she's not the best sleeper. Kind of unpredictable nap schedule still, unless she's at daycare. But at home, like she'll still take 3 naps a day, even at 1 year old. And doesn't sleep through the night. So I really have no sleep tips, unfortunately. We tried the taking care of babies thing, like the sit back, calm them, stay in the room, shush them. But I'm just like not good at hearing her cry at all. So that I'm sure is a me problem. I wish we probably would have been a little bit more disciplined with it when she was younger. Now we're getting a little bit better at, trying to let her settle herself. We have a floor bed in her room now instead of a crib because she ended up, I think because she was just like standing and walking so early, she always like defaulted to using the crib railing to like walk around in circles. So she just used it as a play space. And now that we have a floor bed for her, she doesn't quite do that as much. She'll just like stay laying down and look around the room and look up at the fan. So that has been working for us so far, trying that transition. And like I said, looking up at the fan, that was something when she was just a little baby. A lot of babies love looking up at fans and seeing that kind of motion, which is why a lot of people use like crib mobiles as well. So she's grown out of that a little bit, but sometimes it's so cute though, just to see her look up and be amazed at it for a few seconds. I'm like, oh yeah, that's my little baby, just a little glimpse into the past right there. And then another piece, just comparing, younger to older stages now, I was really worried in the beginning about like her hitting all the milestones, and I use this app called Wonder Weeks. I know some people love it, some people hate it because it does, like, it can make you really fixate on are they hitting these milestones, and some people think that they're like a little bit out there, a little bit far-fetched. I liked it personally because it helped just me as a first-time mom like know what I should be trying to work on with her, related to skills or like little games. Even when do they start learning how to play peekaboo? When should I start expecting her to catch on or really try to start playing that more with her? So for me, that was worth it. It's like a $5 one-time charge. So yeah, I liked that app called the Wonder Weeks. I will say though that one of the things I learned was, people will tell you, oh, it's so cool when they walk, but you kind of don't want them to walk right away because then they're just so mobile and you always have to have your eye on them. And I have felt that a little bit too, like I've been rushing to want to see that she can hit milestones, but then once she does and I breathe that sigh of relief, then it's like, okay, now I wish I could have just like gone back and really enjoyed the moments when you were just, more of a baby and still growing up into those stages without the worry. Because I know every baby just develops on their own timeline. There are some instances, of course, where, early intervention is needed, but I think I just wish I would have been a little bit more relaxed about some of those milestones to be hitting. And then a few of like my must-have items that I'd recommend. I shared that in one of my previous videos, but it's just like a quick recap of the first like few items that come to mind would be a Haakaa. If you're planning to breastfeed, that is just like a must-have item, I think, and I honestly like still use it now, even a year into our breastfeeding journey. So that is one item I think is awesome to have. Also just like a wipeable changing pad, number 2. I think that's also great to have, and we actually have like 2, one on our top floor and then one on the main floor. So you don't always have to go up to one room to change diapers. I think that has been a really great strategy on our part that served us well from the beginning. And we never really had like a set diaper changing table. We always just put it either on the bed or on the floor. So yeah, I would say like a diaper changing table isn't necessary. And then another item would be the Frida like nose sucker. Looks gross, but that has definitely been a lifesaver when she has had some colds and stuffy noses. So yeah, those 3 are like the first 3 items that just came to my mind of like must have, recommend, would buy if it's on somebody's baby registry. And even if it's not on somebody's baby registry, then they would just like might not be aware of that Frida baby nose sucker. Highly recommend. But also be sure to buy them a few of like those replacement filters that go in them as well, because you are supposed to change them every time. Did not know that until it was a little bit too late, but pro tip now, now that I'm a little bit more seasoned. Another piece of advice that I'd give would be thinking about baby clothing. And I went a little bit overboard, maybe a lot overboard, when buying clothes at first, because I wasn't sure how much I was gonna like of something, if we were gonna opt for like snaps or zippers, onesies versus like the full footies. I'd say it could just be personal preference. I do not like snaps. That just does not work for us, especially with such an active baby. But I love things with zips, but I don't love like zips that have feet. I like the footless ones because she runs so hot. Whereas our friend's baby runs super cold, so they were always like looking for layers for him or looking for the things with feet. So it does still depend a little bit on the baby. But I would say too, like finding a good sleep sack for nighttime, once you're past just like the swaddle phase, a good sleep sack with the different togs which was something that I learned along the way now. Like there's different weights to sleep sacks, 0.5, 1, 2.5 for the different climates that you could be in or how hot or cold you keep your house. That way you can just put on like a long sleeve onesie and then layer with the appropriate sleep sack instead of buying, trying to figure out what type of clothing to put them in every night. So I'd recommend looking more into those options. We have some of the Kite Baby ones, Posh Peanut, but I know there's a lot of other brands that offer different different weights of sleep sack without being a weighted sleep sack, like Nested Bean. And then I'd also say that a little bit of like a bougie purchase that I got into was the bamboo and modal fabric pieces for baby clothes. Those are just like super soft and stretchy pieces. You might have heard of brands like Kite Baby or Little Sleepies. Those are some of like the bigger brands for the bamboo baby clothes. But even Target now carries some of like the modal, which is a little bit similar to the bamboo material, which is super soft, stretchy. Target has a 3-pack of long sleeve onesies for like $13. And I buy a lot, like 99% of her clothes used from garage sales or Goodwill. But that is one thing that I did just buy new from Target because I got them on a sale, so they were like $3 each, and they just last for so much longer. Like for example, one of the bamboo footies that was a 0 to 3 month fit her until she was like 9 months old. So you just get a lot more wear out of one item. So I think if we had another baby, or if I were to go back and do it again, I think I just would have bought like far fewer clothing items, but just more of those staples that will last a longer time, because the less laundry you have to do too, less you have to put away, really saves you as well, especially if you have a baby that doesn't sleep great at night like mine, and your alone time is a little bit more limited to get those kind of things done. Okay, a few other pieces that I have. I feel like I could just talk forever on this. So if you have certain items you want to hear about, let me know in the comments below, and I'd be happy to do a part 2 with what I've learned so far. But a few other things that I've learned are just to be, grateful of the time that you have with your baby, whether you're staying at home for those first 3 months or you have to go back earlier. If you're going back to work after that, that was such a hard decision for me. I really contemplated staying home and not returning to work after the first 12 weeks. I did eventually go back at 4 days a week until she was about 10 months old, and then I got a new job where I do work 5 days a week now, but I just make it my mission to get as much done during the day and when I work from home that, the time that I do have with her, I just really make the most of. And, even now, weeknights, we take time to go to the splash pad, we'll go to the pool, we'll play in our playhouse in the backyard. So still just like trying to make the most of every day and the time that you do have with your baby. If you're really feeling on the fence about, is daycare the right choice? Is staying home the right choice? It's such a personal decision, and it's so hard to make. I really struggled with that for such a long time, and I feel like you'll just hear both sides of the fence. There's not a wrong or right choice. I can feel, good about sending her to daycare now because she's so social. She loves to be around other kids. So that's been really fun to see, her interact with others that are her age that she wouldn't get if she was staying home with me, unless we, get to go to those library story times and such. But yeah, that is just such a hard decision that I just wanted to acknowledge that moms have to make. And yeah, just take your time making that decision, and know that if you do decide to go back to work but or on the fence with that, it will get easier as they become more independent. They'll look forward to going to play with their friends, and it will get easier. And then I did just want to say too, on the topic of, like library story times, looking for free activities to do with kids. A lot of libraries around town will offer those story times, which is a great way to meet other moms and littles. And then I know in our surrounding towns, the libraries also offer an adventure pass that you can check out, and that can get you access to go to the zoo, the science center, the botanical center, for free for a day. So that is a great option too, to look for free fun activities to make a few special days with your little ones. So overall, I've just loved being a new mom, and yeah, I've loved seeing what this stage up until 1 has brought for us. I'm looking forward to seeing what 1 to 2 brings. I know it's going to be completely different now. She's starting to talk, say her first words, walk around, really run around, getting more interested in foods. And yeah, it's been quite the ride. So thanks for coming along this with me. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments, and thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, please take a moment and subscribe to my channel. Bye!